Welcome to my presentation on intermarriage featuring the mini fridge. So my hypothesis is that intermarriage leads to improved easier and improved economic assimilation for immigrants. So what is intermarriage? Intermarriage is when an immigrant marries a person who was born in the country that the immigrant has immigrated to, and the intermarriage premium is our main measure of the economic assimilation, and that's just the earnings premium associated with intermarriage. When studying intermarriage, you have to be very conscious of selection effects, because the people who have desirable traits on the immigrants with desirable traits on the marriage market are also going to be immigrants with desirable traits on the labor market, things like education and language proficiency. So we want to make sure that we're controlling for this stuff so that we get an accurate reflection of what the premium is. So to start, Chi did a study looking at immigrants to the United States. Neistat and Dribe did a study looking at immigrants to Sweden. All these studies focus on male immigrants, it should be noted, because women's labor force participation is inconsistent and largely dependent on household choices, or depends more so on household choices. So it's just kind of harder to study and harder to keep track of. So all these studies are just focusing on men. So immigrants to the United States have a 4.7% intermarriage premium. Immigrants to Sweden have a 12 to 20% intermarriage premium, which is huge, but it should be noted that the premium only exists if you're immigrating from a place that is very different from the US or Sweden. If you're a Canadian and you immigrate to the United States and you intermarry, you're not gonna see that same intermarriage premium because of your language skills are so much higher. You're gonna be more familiar with the institutions. You might have social connections in the U.S. and stuff. So a Canadian would not see that premium, but someone from like Mali who immigrates to the United States does see that premium because of the amount of differences between the two places. Intermarrying kind of helps get you used to. Helps you integrate into the broader society better. But if you're already used to that, it's not really relevant. They hypothesized that the intermarriage premium is driven by legal status, improved social networks, and lower levels of discrimination. So going deeper into the legal status point, Chi and Jurianka did a study where they compared Mexican immigrants to the U.S. to Puerto Rican immigrants to the U.S. because Puerto Ricans, while they are basically immigrants because they're coming from a place that speaks a different language, Spanish is the dominant language in Puerto Rico, it's far away, it's not really a state, but they are still American citizens, while Mexicans, of course, are coming from an entirely different country, and so their legal status changes when they get to Mexico, and then when they intermarry, it helps to accelerate the process of getting a green card, of getting their permanent residency, so intermarriage has a change in their legal status. And what we see is that intermarried Mexican men earn 6.3% more than comparable immigrants who just married other immigrants, while Puerto Ricans only had a 0.7% intermarriage premium, showing just how much of the intermarriage premium is really driven by changes in legal status. It's significant. The Puerto Ricans can still be earning more, but the Mexicans are having the bump due to the improved legal status that comes from intermarrying, that intermarrying helps to create, I should say. The intermarriage premium has been growing over the years. Furtado and Song did a study looking at how it's grown, and they found that in 1980 the intermarriage premium was only 1.4%, but by 2010 it was 10.3%. They believe this is largely because of changes in the labor market. The labor market now values communication skills and social skills a lot higher than it used to, and so if you're an immigrant with if you're an immigrant and you intermarry, it's going to help you get more familiar with the language of that country, and so it's going to help to improve your communication skills. It's going to help you out socially because you're going to be more used to interacting with people from that country, and because that sort of stuff is being more valued, the premium is a lot higher, and we should expect it to continue growing, I think, as things like manual labor and stuff become less and less important, and it's more of a service-driven economy. Communication remains very important. So to conclude, there is an economic benefit to intermarriage. It is larger when you're immigrating from a place that is very different than the place you're immigrating to. It is created by, the premium is driven by improved social state, improved legal status, improved social networks, improved communication skills, less discrimination, of course. And it reflects changes in what's valued in both the marriage and the labor markets. And if you're going to go studying it, just make sure you're keeping an eye out for selection bias and all this. Thank you for watching.